Welcome back to another episode of Where It Was Made. I am your host, Ryan Cultrera. I'm here at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood, California, where in just a few short nights, the carpet will be rolled out and the stars will enter the 95th Annual Academy Awards. My personal choice for Best Picture goes to the incredible trip of a movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, by the Daniels. In celebration of that movie, I thought it'd be appropriate to take you behind the scenes and show you how the locations from this film look in real life. So come with me on a trip across the multiverse. This is Everything Everywhere All at Once, Where It Was Made. So here we are inside the laundromat from Everything Everywhere All at Once. This, of course, is where the Wang family lives and operates their business. This is where Evelyn, Joy, and Wayman do their taxes. This is where they have arguments, reconcile, break windows, and have various multiversal experiences. It's this laundromat that essentially operates as the heart of the movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once was directed by Daniels, Quan, and Scheinert, two fellow graduates of Emerson College, who met in school and went on to an impressive career in music videos before turning to film. Their best-known music video is Turned Down for What by Lil Jon. It's also in this location that we meet Evelyn's father, Gong Gong, as portrayed by legendary actor James Hong. In a feature about him in August 2020, CNN proclaimed that with more than 600 acting credits, he's probably been in more movies than any actor in history. The laundromat used in the film is the San Fernando Major's Coin Laundry in San Fernando, California. Unlike in the movie, there is no second-floor apartment located above the business. When she walks up to the counter, Jenny Slate's character has to present her ticket to pick up the laundry. The ticket number is 42, a number famous as being the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
What are you saying?
That was a joke.
That's not a very funny joke, honey.
This film would mark the return of Huy Quan after a 20-year absence from acting. He was originally inspired to return after seeing the cast of Crazy Rich Asians. He would go on to an Oscar nomination. Here's a spot where Evelyn makes peace with Deirdre, as portrayed by Jamie Lee Curtis. Language and miscommunication is a very important through line to the story. Evelyn speaks to her father in Cantonese, but she speaks to Wayman in Mandarin, showing the cultural differences in their upbringing. She speaks to Joy in Mandarin and English, while Joy answers back in English and bad Chinese. This is to represent the divide between these characters.
Here, all we get are a few specks of time where any of this actually makes any sense.
Then I will cherish these few specks of time.
So here we see the building that doubled as the IRS Office in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Since the time of filming, it has since become an Amazon warehouse, which is why, unfortunately, we were not allowed indoors. I tried. This is where the bulk of the action takes place, where Evelyn's eyes are first opened up to the multiverse, where the amazing fanny pack fight happens, where a bunch of amazing fights happen, to be frank, and eventually, it's where they return to successfully do their taxes. There's a lot going on in this building, and part of that was to save on budget. The Daniels had a $14 million budget to make this movie, and part of making that go the distance included limiting the amount of locations in the film. Much like the laundromat, the upper levels of the IRS office were added in post-production.
Mrs. Wang!
Hello? Look, I'm sure you have a lot on your mind, but I cannot imagine anything mattering more than the conversation we are now having concerning your tax liability.
I am paying attention.
Jamie Lee Curtis's character Deirdre is based on a stock photo of an IRS worker. The photo by Mike Simmons is captioned, "Kathleen Malone works on tax returns at the Cincinnati IRS office." The entrance to the building that the characters pass through has been extensively remodeled and is now used as a loading dock for Amazon trucks. When negotiating his contract for this film, Huy Quan brought along his entertainment lawyer. It turns out his lawyer is none other than his Goonies co-star, Lawrence Cohen, who played Chunk. The producers were delighted to see Chunk and Data negotiating a contract together.
Do you see this? You don't get one of these unless you've seen a lot of bullshit.
Alphaverse Wayman, fighting off security guards using his fanny pack, is a tribute to Jackie Chan's fight scenes that made heavy use of improvised weaponry. And now let's take a trip around some of the locations from the multiverse. Located in downtown Los Angeles, we find the building that was turned into the Church of the Everything Bagel. This location is a former Catholic church turned function hall and wedding venue named Viviana. The business took the name from the 3rd century martyr and patron saint of Los Angeles, Saint Vibiana, whose remains were originally housed on the site.
Right is a tiny box invented by people who are afraid. And I know what it feels like to be trapped inside that box.
Actress Awkwafina was originally in the running to play Joy. The googly eyes, which become a symbol of Wayman finding joy and happiness in the little things, are the polar opposite of Jobu Tupaki's Everything Bagel. The eyes are white with black in the center, and the bagel is black with white in the center. This represents the differences between the characters, with Wayman's positivity and Jobu's nihilism.
The bagel will show you the true nature of things. You'll be free from that box, just like me.
As Evelyn's acceptance of the multiverse grows, the aspect ratio between worlds noticeably changes. All the VFX for this film were done by 9 people, including the 2 directors. None of the VFX team even went to school for effects. They were all friends who taught themselves with tutorials they found online.
Bagel!
The opulent setting for movie star Evelyn's film premiere is the lobby of the magnificent Los Angeles Theatre, located in the heart of downtown LA's entertainment district. The theater was built in 1911 and opened with the premiere of Charlie Chaplin's City Lights. In fact, Chaplin himself invested in the building to make sure the theater would be ready for his film premiere. The majority of the film's scenes were shot at a higher frame rate. This was done to give the editors the flexibility to turn them into slow motion sequences when they weren't originally planned to be. The Daniels originally wrote the script with Jackie Chan in mind for the lead role. Ultimately, they reconsidered the dynamic of this role, and the part went to Chan's super cop co-star, Michelle Yeoh.
我在广告牌上看到你，我还在想你会不会记得我。
Of course.
This is also the site of the dance sequence that is being shown on the TV in the laundromat. In one universe that was scrapped from the film, Evelyn is a piece of spaghetti being cooked in a pot. She has a son who is a piece of elbow macaroni, eager to be the one thrown against the wall as a test of sticky doneness, as this will show that he has become a man. In the early stages of the film, the camera work is done simply and invisible to trick the audience into thinking that this is going to be a normal movie. When things start going off the rails, the camera gets a lot more unhinged as well. Here's the spot where we see sign spinner Evelyn showing off her skills. This is located at the corner of 7th Street and Mateo in downtown Los Angeles, across from Gorilla Tacos. There's been a recent surge of multiverse movies, between Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, The Flash, etc. When the film got greenlit, the Daniels worried that people thought that they were hopping on this trend. However, the project has been in development since 2010. The Rock universe was shot at Fonts Point at Anza Borrego Desert State Park. On the day where they shot the scene with the rocks, the weather was 118 degrees Fahrenheit. It was so hot that director Daniel Scheinert's shoes were starting to melt. In separate interviews, Michelle Yeoh and Stephanie Hsu revealed that the Rock universe was their favorite scene, even though neither of the actors are even present during this. The scene where Evelyn and Jobu become rocks was originally intended to have dialogue, but Michelle Yeoh wisely suggested that it be turned into subtitles instead. And lastly, let's end where Evelyn's story begins, at her family's home in Hong Kong. In actuality, Chungking Road in LA's Chinatown doubled for this location.
走自己的路，好不好？
This is the location where we watch Evelyn make the choice between staying with her family or leaving them for Wayman.
以後你唔使返嚟啦。
The original Los Angeles Chinatown was developed in the late 19th century but it was demolished to make room for Union Station, the city's major transportation center. A separate commercial center, known as New Chinatown, opened for business in 1938, where it's still lively today. In a stroke of good timing, I happened to be passing through this location right as the Year of the Rabbit Lunar New Year celebrations were kicking off in Chinatown. And with that, let's send it back to the Oscars. So that'll do it for this episode of Where It Was Made. Thanks for watching, everybody. And I'll see you at the movies.